I'm sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio king. Gate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got. Dream turn. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
But seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
On 1st and 10, Cousins over the middle to Smith. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL, but for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Chandler Jones had a nice run in New England, but I think he's found a real home in Arizona with their pressure package and their ability to utilize him in various ways. Standing up as an outside linebacker, he can come off the edge or loop inside in pass rush. And they can also put his hand down on the ground in pass rush situations and let him try and win against offensive tackles.
Throwing, Cousins, and Rudolph has it left side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
The Vikings send out their punter. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Murray now on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that fourth seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. But I've got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't, just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So first and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Smith catches left side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Gives way to Cook. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
It's now third and goal.
Third and goal for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 50, 30, and what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well. Helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Murray. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And complete right side to Cook. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. First carry now for Alexander Madison, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On second down now, it's Cook, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Cousins, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So on fourth down, on comes the Viking kicker, Daniel Carlson. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A throw over the middle taken in. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. Here's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins, completing it to the right side, Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
On 1st down, Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
And partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards.
A 23-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Murray now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Bailey's kick is good, and that will tie things up at 6-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
2nd down, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Sterling Shepard there to make the grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but They need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a second down. Murray now to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. To throw is Murray. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action, make it look like the same exact play, and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins, open man is Thielen, is complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Throwing is Cousins. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Cousins now to throw on first down. Setting up the screen for Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Cousins again. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins.
Well, the stats that matter on this play, don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Yo. 43 is the mic.
They'll throw again. Cousins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Good stuff. Keep going.
So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's right through, and we are now tied at 13. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The second of our 2 games here on this wildcard Saturday is at halftime. We'll get back to you two in just a second. But first, let's take a look ahead to Sunday's action in the NFC. A 3-6 battle that ought to be a good one, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Meanwhile, it's been as tight as we expected our game to be, all even at the half. Who will go on to the divisional round? We'll find out as we send it back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, a run for Johnson. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Cousins now. Over the middle here to Rudolph. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Cousins now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. That'll be caught right side. It's Butler. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the 1st down. Throwing now is Murray. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Throwing is Murray on third down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Chandler Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and we will remain tied here in this third quarter. So it's his second miss of the game. They both hurt. This one especially so.
Yeah, you've got a chance to give your guys a second-half lead, and they're counting on you to put them in front. And I tell you, there's no one more disappointed than he is that he let his guys down.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They go to Johnson again. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there out of Cook. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape, they're not going to be real happy with themselves. They had a great opportunity that they let slip through their hands.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, 46 yards. As his guys have now moved out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Carlson on for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. And able to find Kirk complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray, screenplay, Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Murray now. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The Cards stringing together a couple of good pickups. It's another first down on that play.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
That's complete right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
On second down, this is Edmonds. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
I'm going to hit you all day.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied, fourth quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Now that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Play action now. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Johnson. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's Williams. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Murray going to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Right there, 54 miles.
Draw play, Edmonds. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. They stay on the ground. Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Hard throw, incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. We will see here that he's done quite a bit, but the bottom line, I guess, partner, it hasn't been enough right now.
And let's face it, everyone wants to be in a spotlight, but when you're not winning, that's not quite as much fun because that's the bottom line, especially if you're a quarterback. Did you lead your team to a victory? No matter how many passes you threw, completed, all of that, that's what he wants to get done.
So far, he does at least have some good highlights to take home with him. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, 1st down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 2nd down and 4, Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Murray. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Murray now on 1st down. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Give me that ball, defense! Give me that ball! Give me that ball, defense!
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
1st down, Murray steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Here's Andy Lee now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He'll look to throw.
The amount of...
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver.
And that one, Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.